So we'll start there. Why is everyone so excited that you're coming on this podcast? I thought when we started, do you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, that person or that person. We put you out on Twitter. You know what the Twitter questions we do?
Yeah.
We can't do them all. We've had too many.
The thing is, though, is I think a lot of the boys, well, the ones I've seen anyway, I think a lot of them I probably won't be able to answer anyway. To be honest, some of them are definitely won't be able to answer.
Yeah, there's some, we get some interesting ones no matter who's on. You know, sometimes you read it and you think, that's so random, I can't work out whether I'm even going to be allowed to ask that, because it's obviously so specific about something.
Yeah.
We'll get to them later. So we're at the community centre, we're home of the Dracs.
Yeah.
Now, you've obviously had affinity with the Dracs since you were a little boy.
Yeah, definitely.
You've obviously played elsewhere that we'll talk about. How long have they been like running out of here? Has it been forever?
For as long as I can remember, I'm pretty sure they used to go back to the Crown. I think they might have even used the Gunners for a bit.
They did, yeah.
And then for as long as I can remember, they've been over here, to be fair.
I'm trying to remember back in the day, but
2006 I played, and we came here. But then when I was with Alex Gray and with Alec when we were kids, it was the Crown and the Crown. And it was the Crown.
I remember going back to the Count Snuffers for it. Remember the Count Snuffers?
Yeah.
Oh, we went to school, so
Oh, you went after, yeah. So
on the corner there.
I got a feeling they went to the Count Snuffers for a bit, 'cause I'm sure the landlord at the Cow played in goals for the Dracs for a bit. So I'm sure that might have been the reason they went there.
Yeah.
But ever since I've known, it's always been over here.
It always felt like the type of place that should have its own home. You know, coming from Cardiff, it always felt like one of those clubs. Even when they were in like local league football, it just felt like one of those clubs. It's a big old club. And do you know when I knew that was right? But like Bridgend Street, I always think about the same sort of thing. Was when Alec Gray, bless him, passed away, and it was his funeral. Yeah. And dozens and dozens of you all in Dracs ties at the funeral. Yeah. And I thought, that won't happen when I die for Llanrumney. Maybe all 5 people out.
We'll probably talk about this later on, but I was at Caerau at the time when it was Alec Gray's funeral. And I went to that funeral and I signed for the Dracs that night.
Did you?
Yeah. I can remember messaging Nana saying, look, I'm going to go back to the Dracs. And I signed that night. Yeah. Probably through drink as well, but it was I had so much time and respect for Alec. He was really good with me. Even though I never played for the Dracs, he was always like, you'll play for the Dracs, you'll be here for a long time. And at the time, I was at Taffs at the time, and the gap between Taffs and the Dracs at that point was probably 8 leagues maybe, because the Dracs would have been like in the bottom of at that point, the Dracs, would have been bottom of the amateur league.
Yeah, probably what we'd now call tier 6, maybe, something like that.
And the Taffs, we were always tier 2, Division 1, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, tier 2 of
Wales. The gap was massive. And I was always like, no, I don't think I will.
So you were at Caerau?
For a little bit, yeah.
And it was the day of Alec's funeral?
The day of Alec's funeral. We played the night before for Caerau against Aberbago Buds away. And me and Togsy still talk about it to this day. When I signed for Caerau, I was probably the fittest I've ever been. Yeah. Togsy was always fit, and in the space of 6 months, 7 months, me and Togsy were getting run all over the pitch, and it was like showing so bad. Was it? Yeah. And I can remember driving home from Aberbago that night, and I can remember saying to Togsy, I don't think I'm going to stay. I think I'm going to go. He's like,
the reason I'm so interested, as to whether it was that day. Was something else happened that day, right? The day of Alec's funeral, right? Was that we were at Porth at the time, and we put 7 days in on Bigsy, because Bigsy wanted to leave.
And Bigsy was at Caerau then, was he?
He was at Caerau.
Right, okay.
And I won't go into the detail of it, it's for another day, but it still disappoints me to this day. It all got blocked.
Right.
And I could never understand why it was such a big deal, right?
Right, okay.
That might explain why.
Maybe, maybe. Maybe, it could have been. But yeah,
because both of those things happened in the space of about an hour.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that probably was. I texted Nano and Samo, and I was like, look, I'm going to go. Samo's good as gold. He was like, I know, I think he knew that
You're always going to come home.
I was going to come home, and I wasn't fit. In that space of that 7 months, I wasn't as fit as I was, or I should have been. And
why is that?
It was showing. I don't know, mate, I haven't got a clue.
Was it just that time of your life where you just thought, you know what?
I think I had a bit of a... When I signed for Caerau, it was after I'd left Taffs. I then signed for the Dracs for like a 6-month stint. Yeah. And then I had the choice. Maxi took over at the Dracs, and I was working with Maxi at the time. And I had a choice. Caerau, Taffs, Dracs. And I chose Caerau. They just won the league, Caerau, so it was quite a... Well, some say brave, some say stupid. But I was confident, like, that... Do you know what I mean? The easy option would have been to stay at the Dracs or go to Taffs Well.
Yeah.
But I thought, no, we'll win the league again with Caerau. And for the first 2 or 3 months, it looked like we probably would have.
Yeah. They were a cracking side, and I can see why you'd have thought it, because I think you would have fitted that team like a glove.
So we played like a box 4 midfield. So it was me, Togsy, Callum Sainty, and it was either Joe Shepp or Hugh. Remember Hugh Corn?
Yeah.
And Hugh Corn. We played like a box 4 midfield. And the first like 6-7 weeks, all through pre-season, we were quality. We were like smashing teams. Yeah. And then, just over Christmas, the winter period, isn't it?
I remember watching them in that title period. I remember when they won the league that year, and I was so impressed with them because I just thought they knew what they were good at and they did it obsessively. And I don't know, just a couple of signings that went into the club once they were champions. Yeah. I thought it was almost like that.
Yeah.
You know, like every team Sam Allardyce ever manages, they go like, oh, we want to play more football now. And you're just thinking, you've just deservedly won the league. Like, I just wondered whether a couple of those boys would be able to do it like the boys who just won the league, even though they were cracking footballers. Yeah. They weren't a bad side still, was it?
No, I think finished 4. I left in the March time. Yeah. Yeah, Alex's funeral would have been in the March time. I left. Yeah, it was. I left in March, and I think they finished strong then and went on and things. So it was probably good decision to leave.
Like people are not realising now, but I remember very well what the Caerau that Nana took over was.
Yeah. And
I know they did it in a different way when they won the league, but it's sort of set the foundations for everything that club is now, didn't it?
Like, I don't want to sound like negative against them, because they were brilliant. That season they won it. We played at Taffs, and Nana knew exactly what he was doing, because we were at Taffs at that point. We were kind of like in transition, like not transition, but we were trying to play differently. Like, you know, everyone always says Taffs
overplay. Well, mate.
We were trying to overplay. Like, and they would make it like I was receiving the ball off the goalkeeper on the edge of my box, and they just swarmed us. Yeah. And I think they beat us 3-0. But I think they had a lot of players who weren't wanted elsewhere.
Right.
And I think
I think that's fair.
Nana's, like, I love Nana. He always has a them against us mentality.
Mentality.
It's always the same. Yeah. And that squad, I think, was probably the peak of thing, because they had a lot of players in that team who were kind of discarded by a lot of clubs.
Yeah, but the way Nana had them playing, and their attributes,
so fit and strong, mate.
Physical. I remember, what was the keeper? Scott. I remember
Scott James.
He took a free kick for a push near the halfway line in his own half when I went to watch.
Monster kick.
Right? He shot. He hit the bar.
Mate.
And I just thought, now, most managers are having a right pop at him, aren't they? But you're thinking, no, if he slightly underhits that, he's got Callum Sainty stood under the crossbar.
Ramir as well.
Ramir with his leap and stuff. And you're just like, man, that's great management, that. Not to be like, oh, let's play. No, smack it. You hit the crossbar like his own half. And it wasn't one of them.
Like an arrow.
This went crossbar high.
Yeah, he used to. And he could do it from goal. He used to do a goal kick. So his goal kicks were reaching.
Yes.
The Caerau penalty area.
Imagine Triaris. He'd be kicking it over the bar with a goal kick in the old Triaris.
No, do you know what? I never ever played there.
No?
Never ever played at the old Tree Harris.
I don't know whether I feel sorry for you because you didn't experience it, or because it was something really unique about it. So for whatever reasons, I went there a lot.
Yeah.
Playing, coaching, I went there a lot. And it was the maddest place I've ever known in football.
Yeah.
the number of times, like Comet would show it up even more now. Because back in the day, you see a result and you don't really know the story, and then Twitter started to introduce a little bit. But like the number of times that team were like 4 goals down at half time and draw the game or win the game. Yeah. Because the opposition would have no idea how to face the way they would come at you second half. The distance, I don't know if you're saying, width of a pitch, I always look at
between
the side of a penalty area and the touchline.
Yeah.
Well, Triadis is about the width of it. Right? And I'm not exaggerating, am I?
No.
I'm not exaggerating. It was about the width of that and then
you've got one side's a brick wall and the other side is a fence. Literally, the other side, touchline to the fence is like that. Remember Tony Southard went face first into this fence and came out with an imprint on himself.
It's like Caerau similar on the far side of Caerau where they got that fence right next to the touchline, haven't they?
Triadis pitch was much smaller than Caerau's, right? So the context, just to finish the Triadis bit off, the old Triadis ground, if you got flagged offside in the second half in one of my teams, you're getting it, right? Because that ball is now under the crossbar, right? So if there's a throw-in anywhere in your half, it's coming into the penalty area. If there's like
a kid's school pitch,
you get flagged offside on the halfway line. That ball's under the crossbar now. Like even like if you get flagged offside on the edge of the box, that's landing on the edge of your box now. So it's an onslaught, and of course the Triadis players would be used to it, and also because they've done it,
they've done it well.
They'd be thinking, "Oh, it's only 3-0. We can still win this."
Do you remember we
it was a mad place.
We went in with Lamwern, didn't we? With Kifty.
Oh, that was.
We were 7-0 up at half time, and we're going in the dressing room going, "This is not over." You're 7-0 up, going, "Boys, this is like against the wind. This game is not over at 7-0."
To be fair, I wish I did play it because
you actually would have loved it though, because the way you strike a ball, like you'd have had a lot of joy.
Because you see it on Twitter, like, you know, it's about all these unusual grounds and that is always on there. That and Caerau is always on there.
It was a special place. I'm glad I experienced it, but sometimes I didn't enjoy it while it was happening.
Yeah.
It is one of those being in the dressing room and like, you know, that it's a game of 2 hours, you hear things, genuinely going, we're winning fucking 7-0. He's going mental, going, this game is not over.
Did you win?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We had a decent back line.
We had a good record up there actually. But the other mad place I always found, and I don't know, I haven't been there for a while now. Lloyd Coed was always mad. Lloyd Coed back then, no matter who the manager was, for about 8 years in a row, right? They were wide open. Yeah. So it was a game of basketball. Every game they ever played was a game of basketball, and that was another one. When we had like Nicky Hooper, Dan Hooper with what is now New York, Sam Artrey, all these like cracking side we had, and we're 5-1 up half time, and I've gone in half time and lost my shit because we were so open. Yeah. So okay, we're getting the better of it at the moment.
It kind of entices you.
But hang on, Floyd could have known for this. They'll win 8-5 if we're not careful. And like Nick Hooper, because he's an intelligent boy, and Nick Hooper was looking at me half time like I got 3 heads. He says, "We're 5-1 up, you dick. I've scored a hat trick. Why are you?"
Have a go at me.
But that's just funny.
I always found out it's changed now, isn't it? They've had it all redeveloped.
Apparently, I haven't been yet, but apparently
it looks good from what I've seen.
Good,
because I know they struggled the last couple of years. Obviously, Dean went there, didn't he?
He did,
They struggled getting games on, didn't they? Because they were playing at Aberdeen.
That's right, yeah. Well, it was boggy itself. So where did you? Obviously, we first encountered each other at Taffs Well. I was running the 19s back then, long time ago. You came in the 70s. Where were you before that? Where was kids football in Cardiff?
So for me, it was when I first very started. It was Cabalva. That was on the mini pitches up until that's high school days then, isn't it? So when you get to high school, then you're playing on the.
I wouldn't know, mate. When we were kids. Under 10s was 11 aside on full goals.
Was it?
Yeah. I wouldn't know.
So my primary school days, it would always be 7 aside on the little mini ones with Cabalva, which was all my schoolmates.
Okay.
One of the parents of one of the kids set the team up.
Yeah.
And then after that, they didn't go into the 11 aside pitches. Okay. So then I signed for Danes Court. So Danes Court would have been like Curtis MacDonald, Jamal Easter, Jan Luca. Basically, it was the Cardiff Schools team. So the Cardiff Schools team from like the last year of primary school, Danes Court took them basically.
Okay.
But they started playing me centre half, so I left and went to AFC Rumney. And I played there then all the way through.
Okay.
And then, like you said...
How did you end up at Taffs in the
Like I said previously, innit? So Taffs would always pick whoever won the under-16s division in Cardiff District. Taffs would be like, we want you to be our under-17s, which was Cardiff Corries, which was Nick Yates and his lot. And they cherry-picked me and Gianluca to join them. So that's how I ended up at Taffs 17.
Yeah, because I remember first encountering you, the 19s played a friendly against the 17s.
Yeah.
And it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, well,
like, really good. Most of my boys were 2 years older than you, and I think we only won 1-0, quite fortunate. I remember back then just thinking, my God, about 6 of these could get in the 19s now.
It's mad to think as well, because I look back at that team now, and the only ones who really carried on playing Welsh League would have been, obviously, Rhys Yates did for a while.
For a while, yeah.
Gianluca drifted in and out, didn't he, playing for Bridgend and teams like that. But there wasn't really many who stuck at it, really.
My team was the same. My 19s.
Because you had a hell of a team, though.
But I think that's the point. That's what was so impressive about your under-17s lot, was that we were one of the best under-19s team in the southern half of Wales.
Yeah.
And really, we should have lost that game to you.
Yeah.
And but not many of them went on to even play senior football, let alone play at a level. Strange how it happened.
I loved the under-17s. We played Monday nights. Yeah. Did your boys play? No, when did you boys play?
Mondays as well, yeah.
The only thing I didn't like was the Fairwater League at our level was 6 teams, and we only played each other once. So didn't play them away.
The reason for that, though, was the year before they tried to run the 17s league, and it all got boggled up in FAW politics, shock, and they ended up, all the games were classed as friendlies.
Yeah.
So we kept the league table unofficially, but there was never any... And the tragedy of that is that my lot, when they were 17s, they weren't unbeaten all season, and they weren't officially classed as champions, which was criminal, really. So the problem was then the other clubs didn't want to commit to it because they thought, well, that's a shambles, we're not going to bother. Yeah. So you boys paid the price for it.
Yeah, so I think, off the top of my head now, I think we had Pontardawe, Haverfordwest, Cumbrian...
Bryn Tyrion, I think, would have had a team back then.
But like we played 5 games. We won the league, played 5 games.
Yeah, yeah.
We won all 5. I think the first game we played, I think we won 13-0 against... I think it was Pontardawe. I think we won 13-0, and I was thinking, like we'd been told that this is like the best league you can play in at youth level. Yeah. And I think we lost Lido around, and we lost in the cup final to Britain Ferry. We lost to in the cup final. We lost 2-1, and we smashed them in the league. Yeah. Played up there. It was Adam Lido.
Yeah. But obviously that was during a big period of change then that you were at Taffs as a youth player.
Yes.
So not that long after you guys came into the club, I was on my way. Nick Tucker had gone.
You must have stayed the year though, because I can remember playing for the 19s when you guys were short.
Yeah, but you would have been eligible.
Yeah. So I can remember early on, Nick Tucker used to call up me and Rhys Yates every now and again. As a couple of your boys would have probably been in there as well, just to go along on the bench, minimum minutes. Do you know what I mean? But it was just nice to be involved. And then they all left then, didn't they? Would that have been? It was early on, wasn't it?
It was early. They were top of the league, I think.
And they were flying, weren't they?
So Tuck's left. Lots of players went with him. Yeah. And then it was the same season I left. It was well after Christmas, but it was the same season because it was. Well, it all came to a head over Dan Hooper, but it had been bubbling for a while because obviously Nicky Tucker, myself, and Rob Ellis, we'd been a very close knit unit for about 3 years. Yeah. Good mates and got on really well, but also, as you say there, I was always pushing players towards him, saying, "Look, you should really have a look at this lad." Yeah. Nick Yates was the same with you boys, and the difference in culture from the moment
when Tuck left,
the new lot came in was just. I struggled, and if I look back at it now with the benefit of hindsight from my own perspective, maybe what they were doing wasn't as wrong as I probably perceived at the time, but I just knew how good it was when Tux was there, and it was really hard to to just change that whole culture. Not so much how they played football, because I'm probably more aligned to Mark Evans' belief of football than I am Nicky Tucker's, but like, just in terms of how the club was, really.
I think obviously it wouldn't happen these days, would it? Because I think Tuck's took 7, 8 maybe players?
Yeah, all at once.
Like that doesn't happen now, is it? What is it? 3? What can you have now? 3?
Yeah, we talked about this the other day, didn't we?
And it wouldn't happen now. So it was, but they would have won that league, wouldn't they? 100%.
I think they would have been close.
Quins won it.
Yeah, I think they would have been close. Because it was them and
Cheesy
Quins.
in that one there. I play golf with Cheesy now.
There were some good teams, but yeah, I think they certainly would have been.
They would have, yeah,
100%. So, striker as a kid, because one of our Twitter questions wanted us to point out striker as a kid.
Yeah, so
because a lot of people wouldn't recognise that, and they'd go, "Really?"
No, I know.
But not only striker, as someone who watched you several times, you weren't bad there either, and you got a lot of goals, and I think the thing I always remember about you as a striker at Taffs Well, young striker, you got quite a lot of goals in a team that for a lot of the time was struggling when you were playing up front. What was that like as a youngster?
Are we talking like when
it was the transition period, went from Mark Evans to Adam Moore to
Samo,
Mark Sampson.
Yeah, so I used to, like I said, I played a few games under Tux, and then Mark Evans, but it was just bit part. And then when I did sign back for Taffs after I went to Fairwater, I was a centre forward, and we were struggling, and I probably wasn't scoring as much as I was used to. But it was like you say, it was hard. We were a struggling team then, and then Mark Sampson took over, and literally within a few weeks, you're a centre midfielder. And I've been there ever since.
Well, how did he justify that to you then?
Togsy got sent off against Caerau Ely, I think, or against someone, and he was banned, and he said, I'm going to play you in midfield.
It's not like Togsy to get banned.
No, I know. And he said, I'm going to play you in midfield, and I stayed there. I've been there ever since.
Did you feel it did you think I quite like that?
Well, when I was a centre forward, I wouldn't say I was an out-and-out centre forward. I was more like a number 10. I used to like drop off and stuff like that. So I won like an out-and-out number 9. So, and I knew I was quite clever as a player. So I knew I think it would have suited me. But I played there. Had no idea what I was doing the first few weeks. But Mark Sampson was telling me I was doing all right.
It's not a bad coach to have, though, is it?
No, I know. Yeah, he did
all right for himself.
Yeah, he did. He done all right, didn't he? Done all right when he left Taffs. I remember him ringing me and Bigsy. Bigsy was at Taffs at the time. When he was leaving, he was like, "Look, lads, I got no choice. Like, the women's team are forcing me to basically pick and choose, basically." He said, "So I'm gonna have to leave." And me and Bigsy were like, "Just stay."
Yeah, but it was his career.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was, mate.
It's not like
it was his job as well. It was his job as well, wasn't it?
Like it was his job. It was his career.
Yeah. 3 years later, he's England women's manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still haven't forgiven him, mind you. He could have told me he was going to England women's. He was 25 to 1 at the time.
Well, there's always a bet involved with you, isn't there?
Most of the time, mate, yeah. But no, he was 25 to 1. I said, 25 to 1 for the England women's job, any chance? Nah, they wouldn't pick me, I'm too controversial. 2 weeks later, Mark Sampson announced his England manager. I was like, you prick.
So there we are, he wasn't involved in fixing.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
So in those sort of struggling days at Taffs, what keeps you there? Because you've always had the pull of the Drax, because, you know, you go for a beer on a Saturday, and I bet you would in
I'd always come back. I'd stay at Taffs, and then I'd always come back here.
Your mates at Fairwater as well in the year. So why, how did they keep you there in the struggling years?
I think the big pull, the reason I didn't come back here is, like I said, the gap was too big. I didn't want to drop down 7, 8 tiers or whatever it was, or leagues, whatever it was then. So that was that. I had a few offers to go elsewhere, but I don't know. Maybe when Samo took over, like that was the reason I stayed. There was 2 offers I had there when I was at Taffs, and I turned them both down, and that was because of Samo. After Samo left, I think Goffey came in. Remember Goffey?
So, yeah, I was deliberately going to ask you about this. So Goffey was in place for what, 2 weeks? 4 weeks?
Was it that much? Nah, mate, he's...
So what happened there? Because you hear on the grapevine, this has happened, that's happened.
Samo left. Samo said to me and Big Z that we met him for a couple of pints to watch some, and he said, look, I'm going. He said, but the club have already sorted it out. He said, Goffey's coming in.
Mm-hmm. It made sense to me.
Jamie Sherwood was his assistant.
Right.
Jamie Sherwood was only there anyway.
Goffey made sense to me because of the whole coaching fraternity that Samo had come from.
Yeah, because they were together at Cardiff Vale with or something.
Yeah, so it made sense. Do you know what I mean? It's like a situation.
Like, it made sense to us as well. Do you know what I mean? And I can't remember fully, mate, but the first game we played, we were home. It was pissing down, maybe October time, something like that. Pissing down with rain. And he's gone in the dugout in a suit. He's wearing a suit in the dugout. I didn't, at the time, mate, I was oblivious to it. I didn't realise.
Yeah.
So we lost that game, I think.
What's wrong with him wearing a suit? And what did Del say? So Del Brazil, it's not live at the point of recording this, but Del Brazil always used to wear a suit in the dugout when he was with
Harvey West.
Harvey West. Why did he say that was so important? Because we took the piss right out of him, right?
I can't remember what he said.
Was it something like he just felt like he felt when he wasn't in a suit he was a...
He felt when he was in a tracksuit he felt like a fraud when he was in a tracksuit.
Yeah, and he felt like he was still a player. He needed to differentiate himself. So what was the problem with Goffey being in a suit?
Well, at the time, nothing. Because to be honest, mate, I didn't even fucking notice myself. It was only like afterward, like later on that day or something, or that night, sorry, because we used to play Fridays. And I was like, I didn't even click. And I was like, I don't know, mate, it's just not... I don't think anyone else would... I've never seen anyone wear a suit at Welsh League Division 1 on a pissing down night on a Friday.
So I've seen...
and we got spanked.
Guillermo Gane. Do you remember that name? Guillermo Gane. So that would have been, you were at Taffs Well. Remember when Cumbrae Town brought in a load of lads from London and there was one from Newcastle?
Gary Proctor was there at the time, wasn't he?
We'll get to Mr. Proctor now. And but Guillermo Gane was the manager, and he was wearing a suit against us. And then I saw him wearing it away at Tom Pentre in January in the mud, which was hilarious. I saw Gary Proctor in not just a suit. Imagine you're going to your daughter's wedding. Oh, right? He came out the one day at Leckwith, right? I'd gone to watch the Quins on a Friday. He was manager of the Quins. And he saw me up in the stand, and he came up and he stood by me. And he saw me sort of looking up and down as he sort of he went, I'm going to a dinner after this. And I thought, no, you're not. You're not getting out the ground until gone 10 o'clock. Yeah. You ain't going to a dinner. That's how you're dressed in the dugout. And Del Brazil was in a suit. No, Quins. He was Quins manager.
Sorry.
Guillermo Gane was the one in the suit there. But they're the only ones I can remember. But that doesn't explain getting a sack in a week.
No, so it was more than that. It was week later we play... No, it was later on it was. It was just after Christmas. It was January, because we've gone to Cumbrae Celtic away, right? In January. You obviously, Cumbrae Celtic, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go any time of the year.
Yeah.
But January... At the time, they would have had Scott Lanyon, is it?
Scott Lanyon up front,
Who's the ginger lad, the big ginger lad?
Shane Williamson, great striker, yeah. Great front two, that.
Yeah. So he's then gone 3 at the back, right, for this game.
Yeah.
Dom Dwyer.
Yeah.
Can't remember the other one. And he's put Gianluca at centre half.
Right.
And I'm thinking...
Sweeper, is it?
And I'm thinking before the game, against these...
Yeah.
Like, we know exactly what they're going to do. It's just going to be direct to those pair, feed off them. We got beat 5-0.
Yeah.
Week after, we're playing Aberdeen away. Game should never have been played, to be fair. It was a frozen pitch. How the ref allowed us to play it.
Yeah,
we got beat 4-1.
You were lucky to get out 4-1 that day as well.
Were you there that day? Yeah. It was a frozen pitch. It was on Friday night. How the fuck it was played, I don't know. Anyway.
I was watching it.
Yeah, and... Norma, after the game, before we left Aberdeen, because I was captain at the time, she came up to me and she was like, "What's going wrong?" And I just said to her, I said, I've had 5 or 6 players who were just not having it. So we had a big character. I don't want to stitch him up, but Jason Welsh, remember Jason Welsh?
Yeah.
So he had signed for us.
Cracking player.
The beginning of that season.
Been at Merthyr and all.
Yeah, he's at Merthyr and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's a really nice guy, Jason. I still see him now. Yeah. And he said to me before the game against Aberdeen, he said we need to say something. He said it can't go on like this. It was just something. I can't exactly put my hand on it. There was just something not right.
So you know all this, like, you know, I'm going to play with a sweeper and 3 at the back and all of that. I get why the boys weren't happy and what at the time. You know nowadays, that's half the fucking manager's mind.
No way.
I'm going to play with this. I'm going to do my philosophy and like all of this nonsense.
100%.
But obviously 100%. Back then that was obviously a bit different.
There was just something. Like I said, I can't pinpoint it, but when Norma spoke to me, I just said, look, there's 5 or 6, and they're 5 or 6 of the senior players. Look, I'm saying senior, but I was probably 22, 23 at the time.
Yeah. You had a lot of games under your belt.
Yeah. Like so first thing Mark Sampson done when he came in, he made me captain. First game made me captain, and I was like, whoa, shit. And but yeah, it was just there was just something about it. It just wasn't right, mate. It wasn't right, and they got rid of him, and Jamie Sherwood took over.
Yeah. So that was till the end of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, he stayed in charge till the end of the season, but there was.
But Bridgie and Darren Bottle came in.
Yeah, to
help him.
So
originally,
at this point, at the Goffey time, I've been good mates with Bottle for years, and at the Goffey time, I would go meet Bottle for a pint at the Elms after football, and I was this close to signing for the Corries when Butler and Bridgie they had a good little side at the Corries, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign. Bottle rings me 2 days later. Don't sign. I was like, why? You went, because we're taking over at Taffs next season. He said, we're going to come in now for the last 6-7 games.
Yeah.
He said, but we're taking over next year.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, okay, cool. And then that's when things change at Taffs.
Massively. So that's the team that a lot of people in your first half of your career would have associated you with, is that team. So,
but we had 2 good years under Samo where I think we finished 5th and 6th.
And a lot of the players that played for Bridgie were kind of already there, weren't they? I know there were signings made.
Yeah, 100%.
But what was the difference then? Because you've had Samo that you all obviously bought into. You've had Goffey and Jamie, who are out and out coaches. Don't think it's unfair to say about both of those.
Yeah.
And so what was the big change? Because you very quickly became one of the top teams again.
Butler and Bridgie knew who they wanted.
Yeah.
They were, especially Butler, mate. Butler's very astute around like Welsh League football. He used to go out watch games. He knew like the players we needed, and he's a salesman at the end of the day.
He was the king of sliding into people's DMs before sliding into people's DMs was a thing. Yeah, a couple of my fucking players had messages off him.
Yeah, but they knew they wanted. Like we had a good core. At this point, we had a good core of players.
Yeah.
And I think we just needed 1, 2, 3 players. And then that was it. Then we were.
It felt like a real difference in attitude around you all though as well. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I think
we
were getting a bit older as well. We were all getting a bit older.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? And I think we were signing better players.
We came to you when I was managing Cumberland Celtic by this point. We came down to you at the start of your run, and I think maybe you'd won 4 in a row or something, but you weren't considered one of the top sides yet. And honestly, we just got blown away that day. And we weren't a bad side, you know, and we just got blown away, and I just thought, ooh, something's happening here. You know?
It's hard to remember, but I'm pretty sure we finished second. We had a late run. I think we won some like 10 of the last 11, and we ended up finishing second, a few points behind Cam Bryan, I think it was.
Yeah.
But I think we beat them in the cup final that year. Possibly.
I don't know. We were saying earlier before we turned
I'm sure
on.
We beat them in the cup final.
You forget the years, don't you? But I remember you having a late run, because didn't you have to win your last game at Caerau to finish second? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But we But yeah, we started under Bridgie and Buttle is when we started. Started being one of the top teams at that level. Like.
So one of the Twitter questions that came in, did you see this one? Was it on the joint account or did it come in to me?
So many fucking...
Right, why didn't that team win the league?
Seen his cup.
The only time I reckon we probably should have won it was when Monmouth won it.
What makes you say that?
Because just the distance we finished in the end behind the others.
Right.
Like I said, the Cambrian one, it was like a late surge. Yeah. We were never really in it.
Yeah.
The year West End won it, it was West End, Cambrian and us. And I think after we'd lost to West End, late on in the season, we kind of knew that we were out of it. So we kind of like took our foot off the gas.
I know what you mean.
But the Monmouth one was the one where we should have won that. We should have.
So
the reason we didn't...
Where was the turning point?
You won't like me saying this, but Joey Evans scored an own goal against Taffs Well away. Last minute of the game.
He might not like you saying it. I fucking love the fact
I'll be honest with you, mate. The reason we probably didn't win it was probably Dan McDonald, because he was
unbelievable.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was so good.
We came across him.
His numbers were incredible, weren't they?
Earlier on, didn't we?
Yeah. When
Monmouth were coming up with, when we were across the Caerau, you watch him play a game, you just think, fuck it, you can't stop this kid.
The thing is, mate, like I like that. I see him quite a lot. We see each other horse racing and stuff like that, but you never look like a footballer.
When he was banging in
all the goals, because he is probably one of the best I've played against.
Monmouth was smashing everything at the start of this season in Division 2, right? And he's like scoring 4, 3, 5, and I'm thinking this guy is going to be like a Luke Prosser, that type, giant and whatever. Yeah. And he turned up, and I thought, that's the lad that fills the bottles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, it was incredible.
100%.
Absolutely incredible.
A funny story, actually. He lobbed me from the halfway line. So we played. We played Monmouth. At Abergavenny.
The world's biggest pitch.
Yeah, mate. So, and we were having a tough spell at Taffs at the time. We were struggling.
Yeah.
It was towards the end of my time at Taffs, and we played them off the park first half. Go 1-0 down. Mistake right on half time. 1-0 down. Second half, Nettie brings down Dan McDonald. I think gets sent off. So I had to go in goals. So I goes in goals. He scores the penalty. I get my hand to it. He scores the penalty. Then we get back in the game. I think Clayton Green scored. We get back in the game. And then I've walked up to the edge of my box to speak to Ricky Hodge and Lloyd Jenkins, just have a chat, blah, blah, blah. But the linesman has got his flag thing for substitution. So I'm chatting to these two. The referee's ignored the substitution. Dan McDonald, they've rolled the ball. His shot has gone over my head. Gone in the net.
That's a decent ping on that ground.
On that pitch, I know.
That's about
Bridgie's
a
on the side. What the fuck are you doing?
That's a 3-iron.
The Bridgie's going, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I'm doing you a fucking favour, burning goals. I don't want to be in here. Do you know what I mean?
So that team that, when Cambrian won the league, you had them away from home, first game of the season, the following season.
Yeah. That was probably the best, first half especially, the best performance I think I've been involved in. We were just like, we were so at it, and we were like, we had such a good team though, mate. And we were just so at it, and we were 3-0 up half time.
Do you know what the mad thing is? I was watching
it's on YouTube, isn't it? Yeah, it's
I was
on
watching
YouTube,
the game,
that game.
And I remember saying to Bridgie, I actually worried for you that season, because I thought your team should go.
Me personally, or
the team.
Ah, right, okay.
You lot on Twitter after that game were absolutely ridiculous.
Mate, I know, mate. I see.
Do you remember the worst culprit for it?
Probably me.
No, talking about. Oh, sorry about the game of keep ball against the champions last night. Do you remember all that on Twitter?
Yeah, I can remember.
I remember saying to Bridgie, mate, you want to...
No.
People are going to be after you.
I know. I know.
Because you were so good in that game. You should have just...
Especially
first half, moved on, get another 3 points. Unbelievably good.
And yeah, it was. So the year before that, we had finished second to them in the league.
Yeah.
And we'd beaten them in the cup final.
That's right, yeah.
We'd beaten them in the cup final. And then we played them first game of the season.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. So how many cup wins was it in the end, the Taffs?
I think Taffs had 3, did they? 3 and 4 years. Yeah. No, they're 3 and 4 years. 4. I was there for 2 of them.
Okay.
I was there for the first 2. We beat Cambrai 2-0. How we beat
that was at Tom Pentra, wasn't it?
Both at Tom Pentra they were. How we beat them, mate, I don't know. Because
I think they were excellent sides.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Excellent.
We had such a scratch squad that day as well. And we scored early and scored late.
Yeah.
Probably the best times to score in it. But we hung on. We hung on for 90 minutes.
But that's the season where I said it just felt like something was happening there.
Yeah, but that's when we were getting better and better. But we did. We had, I think Clayton played centre half with Chrissy Hugh. We had Jerome Lawrence playing left back.
Yeah.
Like everyone was out of position, but everything just went for us that day. And then the following year we played Bryn Tyrion in the cup final. So that was the year we lost to Monmouth. We lost to Monmouth in the league. Yeah. But we beat Bryn Tyrion in the cup final before they switched to Pen y Bont.
So why the move away eventually from Taffs?
Oh, so the following season after that, it was again like we wanted to obviously win the league. We'd signed what we thought we were missing. So the year we didn't win the league, another reason we didn't win the league was Prangley left. Prangley left at Christmas or January and went to Lido. And I know if Prangley would have stayed and we had an out-and-out centre forward, we would have won that league. Pains you for me to say that. But no,
he was a good player. He was a good
player. Mate, he was superb for us.
He was a good player.
As a centre forward, he was superb.
I quite agree.
And then he went to Lido. And then, like, no disrespect to the people, like, we were.
How did you feel about that move?
For him?
Because they were doomed.
Yeah,
when he went there, they were doomed. So it wasn't like they were going to stay up or anything.
I had a chat with him. Bridgie said, look, he wants to go. He said, any chance you can have a chat with him? I rang him. Just explain to him, like you just said, they're gone. But I don't know, man. I just think it's...
I tried to work this out once. Right, no.
There was nothing for him to... Don't get me wrong, he's played Welsh Prem, great. But
he seemed to enjoy it from everything you saw around his... So I don't... It's not like he went there and regretted it.
No, I don't think he did.
But I don't know what it is because I didn't get to work with him for long enough because the two of us just shouldn't be within 50 yards of each other, right? But... I always say to anyone, when he played up front, I thought he was excellent, real good. I thought he could do most things, right? But there's just something... He's been playing senior football since he was about 17. Yeah. Now, if I'm guessing, Simon is now 35,
yeah, he's a couple of years younger.
So call that, by my maths, 18 years. Yeah. I reckon he has had...
35, 40.
30 transfers,
35 clubs, 30, 40... You got to...
No,
he's had 5 this pre-season, hasn't he? I don't think he has.
I think from reading between the lines, I think 1 or 2. He might have been a bit unlucky this summer. I'm going to give him those.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I just see what he tweets, and But
I do remember thinking at the time, even though, like I say, him and me just don't get on.
I think they did offer him good money. I think they offered him good money, mate.
I remember being disappointed that he'd gone because I always wanted you and Buttle and Bridgie and Joey Evans and people like that to actually win the league. So I remember being quite disappointed he'd gone because I did think if you all just stay together.
And what we found then, for a couple of months, probably about 6-7 weeks after he'd left, Bridgie was trying things to play centre forward, so we tried Marcus or we tried Topper playing like a false 9 or something. And I think we ended up, and probably what worked best was Ricky Hodge playing as a 9.
Okay.
And
someone you could hit a little bit.
Someone we could hit, like Rick, he was a centre half or a right back for us generally, but he ended up playing as a 9, and he done it. To be fair, he done a really good job.
Yeah.
But I think that period where we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. Like, I remember Bridgie asking me to go back in there, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't mind," but Buttle was against it and wanted me to stay in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that period where we were trying to figure it out.
The thing is, when you lose a striker,
we lost it by 2 points in the end.
Good movement, though.
Yeah.
No matter who you put there, it's going to be hard to replicate because no one's going to have that movement.
And that teammate was generally it was Marcus, Topper, Prangley. So like apparently didn't stay as the 9.
No.
Like, they just...
Exactly.
And for me, it was great for me. Like I didn't even... Half the time, I wasn't even passing to someone. I was just
to an area.
Just hitting into an area.
Someone
because
will be there.
One of those 3 will get on the end of it.
That's right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was easy for me.
Yeah. Well, before we get to the Drax bit, because that's another bit, that's where the next generation would know you from. You've spoken a couple of times about the Sunday League stuff.
Fucking hell.
Get into this.
Mate, how good, honestly, people don't know this. Well, I did. We had a fucking wicked Sunday League side, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was, and I know we talked about it, back to the social side of it. We had a wicked side, but also we had a wicked laugh. And it's a lot of local boys here. There wasn't really anyone, probably apart from me, outside of Gabalva that played for the team. But it was Willow and Baz up front.
Yeah.
You know, we'd beat teams, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying it. Sometimes he'd turn up pissed.
Oh,
most times pissed.
Absolutely. If he didn't turn up pissed, he'd be shit.
We'd beat your team 17, 18, 19-0. They'd score 12, 13 between them. And half the time, I probably could have just sat on the floor. But
it was.
No, it was a wicked side.
So you did sit on the floor. Probably stinking hangover yourself, knowing you.
So obviously Barry was obviously with my mum. So I used to go and watch him every Sunday. I wasn't old enough to play.
You used to call him Daddy?
No, don't. So I used to go and watch him from like 13, 14, 15, but I was never old enough to play.
Yeah.
They always wanted me to, but I wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
And when I hit 16, mate, do you know what? That was the thing I was looking forward to most. When I hit 16, was playing Sunday football. Because they were all
we used to love our Sundays as well.
They were all my mates. Yeah. They were all older than me, but I used to go to I used to go to the Gunners after the Gunners would play. I'd be in the Gunners till 2, 3 in the morning. I'd have school the next day. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. I'd have school the next day.
Fucking great.
But me and Paddy would be walking back, because we only lived down 5 minutes on the road. We'd be walking home. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to go to school. But that was me, and I wasn't even playing. But
and then when he was playing,
and then I started playing, and we won I think we won the treble 2 years running, maybe 3.
Smashed everybody.
But then as we got to that Premier Division, then a lot of the boys, they were started having kids and whatever. And then
that's exactly like our Sunday League team, Broadway. Exactly the same. Smash everyone in sight for years. Get to the Prem, and it's just 1 year too far.
Yeah. But we had to then the Bottle, Robbo. They were like, "Look, we'll carry it on. We'll take it over." So that's when we had to drag in like Togsy and Richie Noyes and Lee Denner and people like that. People we knew, basically. Darren Bennett. We had to just drag people in like that.
What a fucking player he was.
Mate.
For his size, what a centre half. Playing with us on a Sunday and just thinking, fuck me, you're about 4'2".
I can remember
what a centre half.
I used to play on a Sunday, and he was at Fairwater at the time. I'd have been at Taffs, and I can remember Robbo saying to me, "We got a centre half at Fairwater. He's unbelievable." I was like, "Well, get him in on Sunday then, innit?" Mate, he turned up on a Sunday, and I was thinking.
I remember Robbo bringing him in.
I was thinking, how the fuck can he play centre half? He's 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
Mate, what a player!
Yeah.
What a player! I think his first game. It was his first game. I think we played Tiger Bay, and they were like the ones we were going up the leagues with on a Sunday. And I think one of them said something or hit Buttle off the ball. Darren Bennett just walked straight over, punched him straight in the face. And that was his first game. He didn't even know, but I don't even knew Buttle at the time. And it was just like, yeah, he's one of us. Like, I mean, he's a big of us. But yeah, I played with him for the Gunners, Fairwater, Taffs, Drax.
Fucking great player.
Yeah. But mate, such a
were there no like males that could stand upright and breathe in Gabalva that you could have put in goals instead of him? How would you want to...
Half of them would have been fucking better.
You'll have to ask Eggy.
I did message him in a week saying, listen, mate, when you do your all-time 11, I'm not offended.
I find it quite funny that you feel you even needed to say it.
No, I was joking with him about
it. I used to love Sundays, mate. I used to love Sundays. Back to when I was playing for Taffs Well 17s. We had a game, 2 o'clock, Cumbrae Celtic away. I played on Sunday morning for the Gunners. Yeah. At the time, I was like, I'd rather play for the Gunners.
Yeah.
And I said to my dad, I'm going to do both. He was like, if you want to do both, do both.
It was a fucking great time. Going through the leagues, you're right, is like we said when we were with Broadway, beating teams, but having fun along the way. When it got to the Premier, it was hard work.
Did you know all the mates fact that I started playing as soon as I hit 16. Look, don't get me wrong, the standard was shit.
Yeah, it was.
But, I'm playing against men.
Yeah.
I'm a 16-year-old kid. I was never the biggest.
Yeah.
I'm playing against men. And I think that gave me a massive head start going into...
Yeah, I agree with that.
Going into youth football, going into men's football.
I only ever played one game of youth football.
Did you?
Straight into seniors. I remember, similar to you, it was I played for senior team. It must have been in the summer, so I played for this, like a senior team in like an early kick-off.
Yeah.
And the youth team in the afternoon. Didn't enjoy the youth, so just stuck with senior football.
Yeah, it was a big help. And the people I was playing with, mate, like to be fair, they used to look after me.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I knew that they would, like, if anything happened,
it's a similar thing to what I said with the Broadway. It goes to show the earlier you get in,
I think
at a
so,
young
mate.
age.
I think
he was well looked after by the team. I was well looked after when we played at the same age.
I think that's massive. I do.
You're playing though. That's the thing. The Landrum League guys had a night out on Saturday, and there's one lad we're talking about. We worked out. He's hardly kicked a football in senior football for over a year, but won't leave this level. Because no, I can't possibly drop down.
Won't leave Landrum?
No, the level he's playing at. And you're like, you're not playing football. You're watching football. Like you're either not in the squad or in a new sub. You're not playing football. What are you getting out of that? Do you know what I mean? The key for you there is you're playing.
I say to everyone all the time, like, a load of the Drax boys who I was played with, like, they always, if they're looking to move or whatever, they always give me a ring for a bit of advice, and I always say the same to them: if you're going to play, and it's worth you going, go. If you're not going to play, stay where you are.
I always say to anyone, like, if the manager of the team you're going to was personally spotted you, approached you himself, knock yourself out. If your mate or one of the coaches or anyone else, don't do it. Don't do it, because it hardly ever works out.
Like when I was at Taffs, when was it? It was back, there was no transfer window. I think we played Lido 2 weeks running. It was under Mark Sampson. We played Lido 2 weeks running. Once in the league, once in the cup. Got beat 4-1 both games. Nathan White scored, I think, 7 in the 2 games.
Right. Sounds like Whitey, to be fair.
You know, back then, that little period, I would have been 22, 23, so he's probably 21. Mate, he was the best striker in the Welsh League.
I reckon he could
have
done anything he wanted.
And he was a part of the change. Yeah. He was the start of the change at Taffs as well, because when he signed, Topper signed. Anyway, Jonah had watched both games. Jonah rang me to go and sign for Port Talbot. And it was probably October, November time. And I was just like, I just qualified as an electrician. So I was working Saturday mornings, or Saturday all day, because Taffs were playing Friday nights.
Yeah.
I was on half decent money at Taffs. And I was like, he offered me good money, but I just thought, the reason I didn't go is because I didn't want to go in there behind the 8 ball, because they're 4 months into their season, 3 months into their season.
Yeah.
Travelling up north and whatever. And do you know what I mean? If it had been pre-season, I would have probably thought, I'll back myself. I'll get myself in this team.
But pre-season, you can do that thing I hate people saying, but you can go and have a look for a month, and Taffs will still be there if you don't fancy it.
Do you know what?
You can't do that in the season, can you? You've
either
got to go or not.
Yeah. But like you said about that, I used to love it. Pre-season finish, and I wouldn't entertain anything until pre-season. Bridgie would say we're starting on this date.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was the thing I loved. It was like whether people didn't want me or whether people just like, there's no chance he's leaving.
Yeah.
That was the thing I liked, actually.
Yeah. I think it's more that not only were Taffs a good team, but Taffs felt like a team that were on their way to something.
Yeah, we were on the up.
Yeah. So before we get to the Dracs, then, why are so many people in my DMs and the podcast DMs saying, what's he going to say about referees? Why? Because, like, I thought I was the most famous ref baiter.
You know what it is, isn't it? It's that one referee. What's his name?
Somebody did message specifically about one referee that sends someone off every week.
Markham.
Oh, the guy on the Welsh Prem.
The Welsh Prem.
When I message you about every week.
Jones.
Yeah. Another one.
I'll tell you where it all started from. I had him a couple of times when he was on his way up.
Yeah.
And I always found him an arrogant bastard. And we play...
No way, though. Do you find...
Just on the pitch,
a few times, though, sometimes you think, like, oh, he's an arrogant bastard. But, like, do you know the one thing, having done quite a bit of refereeing over the years myself, right? Sometimes I sort of think, do you know what, I probably sound like that refereeing sometimes, because obviously you're taking all the stick in one way. So what makes him stand out? Because the one to stand, of all the refs you've had, does he stand out?
There's a fucking few.
I was going to say, why on earth is that one?
I always like the referees
really say I've had anything with him.
I always like the referees that you could talk to and they're willing to talk back to you.
Yeah.
It was the ones who, like, you try and talk to them, they're just like, fuck off, or just go away. Do you know what I mean? And it just used to just do my head in. But we had him early on, and I didn't think he was very good anyway, but clearly he is because he's up there.
Well,
but,
I want to see some of their promotions into Tier 3 last year.
We had a last 16, Welsh Cup last 16, before I left Caerau, we had Port Talbot away. So we're meeting at the Masons.
Yeah.
Some of the boys have gone straight there.
Okay.
Mike Jones, you know, the secretary at Caerau, he's gone up there early. We've literally gone on the minibus. We haven't even got to the A4, the 423 turn off.
Yeah.
And Mike's rang, game's off, waterlogged pitch. So me and Togsy, straight in our bag, open the back hands. We've had a can each. Nana's turned the bus round. We get back to Corrigan, game's back on. I was like, the fuck do you mean game's back on? Anyway, driving back up, another message, game's off. I'm like, you taking the fucking piss out of us or what? Anyway.
Did you have enough cans for the journey?
Well, no, when we had the second message, game's off, we opened up the second can.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had another message, game's back on, but it's not kicking off till 3:30. So me and Clogsy had 2 cans, we get to Port Talbot. The pitch wasn't playable. 2 minutes in, he gives a penalty. It's never a fucking penalty against Martin Rose. He's given a foul against Martin Rose, on Martin Rose. And he was awful all game. But apparently the game had to be played because Port Talbot had a fixture backlog and there's no way we could have got this game in. But it was never playable. And that's probably the big bugbear I hate, because I never went too far in the Welsh Cup.
Do you know what? I don't know if it's pure coincidence, right? But when you say that about, like, what a referee shouldn't care that Port Talbot got a backlog, that's not their problem.
But I think it was influence. Probably
that's what I mean.
He's probably being forced.
The cup game with Porth down there, remember?
But have you seen some of his decisions since, mind?
I send them all to you.
Mate.
Every time you get the one with the back pass.
Don't be pointing at me.
You know, every time someone messages you about put the ball down, knock it there, goalkeeper gives it the strike and they tap it in, everyone messages you. Yeah. Every time that guy, referee, does something, someone messages him and I'm tagged in it.
Okay.
And it's like...
I could look at Scorio when they tweet about a controversy. They always say about like, a red card. I don't even have to look. If it's controversial, I don't even have to look at the referee. I just know, I know it's him. And I've got a couple of mates who are playing last.
He's done a couple this season, I sent it straight to him and go, here we go again.
Was it Haverfordwest and Penabont? And they've sent off the Penabont striker or something.
He sent him off and everyone's going...
I was like, what has he done there?
You haven't even fouled him.
I think... was it the Penabont striker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think Rhys Griffiths has done really well after the game.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see the interview, and he talks as though it was the most blatant red card ever seen in football, and he just moves on, and I'm thinking, fair play to you, you're a better man than me.
It's madness, mate. It's always him, though. It's always him. And I just doesn't surprise me.
The Port Talbot Cup game with Porth, we're playing in the night, right? And it's probably...
Port Talbot, this one Port Talbot,
right? So it's like the 4th round or something, right?
Yeah.
So quite late in the competition, so it's in the winter. That's the way I make that point, right? And the floodlights on the far side of the pitch, the entire side fail, right? But Port Talbot are 2-0 up, half time, not like 10 minutes left. So we come out second half now, right? You kick a ball into the corner from the dugout, you can't see it.
They're not great, the lights there anyway, at the best of times.
We played the entire second 45 minutes with one strip of the pitch on the far side in complete darkness because it was 2-0. I promise you, if we're 2-0 up, that's off.
No, 100%, mate. It's not just him. There's a few anyway that are a bit a bit get under my skin, should we say?
What, like that you experienced as a player, or?
Yeah, as a player, yeah, 100%. There's, you know the one. He's regular at Taffs Well.
Why does everyone assume I'll know the one? It's not a short list, mate, of refs I've fallen out with over the years.
We've got a catalogue between us.
Boucher, he's the one.
I know. I had a big blowout with Boucher in a pre-season friendly once, but as speakers I find, right, I've always gone great with Boucher, and I've never.
I used to go great with him when I was at Taffs, mate. I used to speak to him all the time.
No, I've not personally had any problems refereeing wise with Boucher.
When I left Taffs and went to the Dracs, it just felt like he wanted to send me off all the time.
Did it?
And then the fact that I still know people at Taffs, like you go to Taffs the next day and he'd be, I sent Will off last night. Or sent Will off yesterday. And I'm like,
do you know what? I'm going to stick up for Mark here, right? People won't believe that, but I'm going to stick up for him. At least he's at Taffs Well saying it verbally in front of people, not in sad little WhatsApp groups. They've got this called Gareth Morgan. There's a WhatsApp group with my name in it. There is, yeah.
Even now?
People think I don't get screenshots of it. Yeah.
But he said, it was justified by, I think we played Penydarren over here. Penydarren had already won the league, but we were trying to finish second.
Yeah.
And the one thing, after I'd left Fairwater, I'd never beaten Penydarren. And we were well on top over there. And he's given an indirect free kick. Or no, he hasn't. What is it? If he tells our wall to go back, they can't take a quick one, can they? I think that's the rule. If he says to the wall, you have to go back 10, they then can't take a quick free kick.
No. So the laws. So what I always do, even with kids, is I go, do you want a quick free kick, or do you want the wall back 10? And if they say I want the wall 10, then you say, you have to wait for the whistle now.
So he's made us go back 10. So I'm like, they can't take a quick one. But Brogdon has taken a quick one, scored, they've gone 1-0 up.
Right.
This is like last but one game of the season. So I've lost my head and I've just called him an effing CVT. And Jake Gammon, I'm sitting in the wall with Jake Gammon, and Jake Gammon goes, oh fuck, you're gone. Anyway, so I had a red card, but I think it was like my second red card of the season.
Right. So
I started the following season with a 4-game ban. And I think it happened a couple of times where I started the following season with a Caerau did as well. I got sent off my last game for the Dracs. So I've trained all pre-season, trained hard. I was the fittest I've ever been at Caerau. And then I missed the first 3 games because of my ban from the previous season. And the same with this. Maxie was fucking fuming with me because that was the year we wanted to go up.
Yeah.
And I missed the first 4 games. And so I trained all pre-season. But it's just like, in my head then, it's like, oh, I'm missing the first 4, so I can go a bit easy now, can't I?
Yeah.
But it's not that. You're not involved in the games in pre-season, because obviously Maxie wants to...
He's getting ready.
He's getting ready.
Season, yes.
If I was missing 1 game, it wouldn't matter so much, but I was missing 4.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Tom McLean was missing as well, and it was just...
So what on earth was that like, referee-wise, with you and Bridgman in the same... As a player, or did you get worse as you got older? Because I did. I used to get more frustrated with them.
I think you just said it's frustration. So, like, when I was at Taffs, I don't think I ever got sent off for dissent. Would never have got sent off for dissent. But as you step down a bit, frustration creeps in, doesn't it?
Right.
And I think that's why I got sent off a couple of times for the Dracs for dissent, is frustration. Not
interesting
in terms of, in my head, thinking, should I be playing at this? I should be playing higher. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes creeping in, and then sometimes, and you got lines at the time. Sometimes we didn't have linesmen. Do you know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
And it's just like it getting frustrated, and that's probably some of it.
Yeah. Because Bridgie used to have his run-ins with refs, didn't he?
Mate, you have to calm him down. I seen him Sunday actually. Our boys play for Newport, and they play home and away at the same time. His boys a bit older, but it's like odds and evens. So odds play away, same, and evens. So I seen him the other day actually.
Saying that, mind, I've witnessed this personally with him. Refs used to look for him as well.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose you get like a little. You do get a target on your back, don't you?
Do you remember that? Do you remember that white paper he got once? because the referee said he shook his hand too aggressively after the game.
Yeah, but look who it was.
Who was the ref? You can't say that. You're involved in football.
Let's put it that way, yeah. We won't name him, but it rhymes with piss Baines.
How can you shake his hand aggressively?
He had a white paper for shaking his hand too aggressively.
Isn't he, ain't he doing the, what's it called now?
What's that?
No, funny enough, he walked past me and Bridgie on Sunday.
Did he?
The referee, yeah.
I bet he didn't say a fucking word.
His head's upside down. Is that what you say? Is that the same one?
I bet he didn't eyeball you acting hard when he was in public, did he?
No, he didn't look, to be fair, he didn't look at Bridgie. He didn't. I actually get on with him, actually.
Shock.
He's one of the ones I actually prefer, to be fair.
Oh, no, we're going to have to move on.
Time to go, fucking that's enough.
It was him and the other one, Paul Walters. I used to love Paul Walters.
Yeah. No.
Because he used to...
No, I'm with you. No, I rate him.
I can remember
He actually took me up a beauty, he did the FAW.
I can remember we played an Ashir away and they hated me up there. And I'd given I think I pulled someone back. So it was a yellow card. And then late on in the game, we were 2-0 down and I went to tackle someone on the touchline. Just a little mistimed tackle. It wasn't like dirty or anything, but it was a yellow card. And he walked over to me, he went, I really don't want to do this. He said, but you've left me no choice. And he sent me off. And he came up to me after and apologised. And I was like, mate, you had no choice. Like, you had to send me off. But he was good as gold, Paul. Always good as gold.
So somebody said, I'll be disappointed if he doesn't mention Anashia. So while we're on that one, you had a yellow card for getting headbutted at Anashia once, apparently.
Yeah.
What's that about? So
we played... It was our first year in the Ardell. And we'd gone up there just after Christmas, and we were flying at the time. We'd just beaten Pontardawe the week before. No, 2 weeks before we'd beaten Pontardawe at home. The year they won the league. Yeah. We beat them. Then the week after we beat Garden Village. And then we play Anashia then. Anashia at top, we're second. And the first half hour, mate, they've absolutely battered us. They've gone 1-0 up, battered us. And they had a centre-half, Khan Thomas.
Right.
So he was a real good player. He's a really good player, mate. But I see Khan at Cardiff City away games now, but he's a bit of a loose cannon. Anyway, I think he played for Cambrine for a bit. Anyway, we Hibbsy, you know Hibbsy, do you?
Yeah.
So Hibbsy's playing up top for us.
Right.
Ball's gone into Hibbsy on the halfway line. He's shielding it. This Khan's gone through the back of him. Hibbsy's fallen on the floor on top of the ball. Khan's just booted him straight in the back. So I've run up to... Chris Haynes is ref, actually. I've run up to Chris Haynes. Oh, I can't say it, can I? I've run up to him. You can. I said, you've got to send him off. You've got to send him off. So he sends him off. And then I'm waving to Khan, laughing and waving to him. Mate, he turns around, walks back to me. And you're in football, like everyone... It happens all the time, doesn't it, where people square up to each other. Yeah. But you know, you're like, nothing's going to come of it. Yeah. But this time, he's walking towards me, mate, and I'm thinking... He's actually going to do something. He walked up to me, mate, and just nutted me, split on my lip. Chris Ames gives me a yellow card for inciting him. And I'm like, but it just so happened, it was my 5th booking of the season.
Brilliant.
So I thought, we'd gone from like November to December thinking, if I can stay clear of a booking now, I won't get a ban. Gets this booking, gets an email off the secretary then a couple of days later saying, oh, you're banned for next week. I was like, how? I only had 5. He went, yes, 5 all season now. And then we didn't play then.
I think we've covered it before.
Didn't play for 6 weeks because of the
I'm absolutely convinced that the only reason our rule has changed is because the computer says no. The comic can't deal with it. I'm convinced. Because what other reason is there? Mate, what other reason is there for you to get as a centre-back, to get a yellow card every 6 games and it means you're banned for the first game of next season? Like, there can't be any other reason. It's nonsense.
You could play 29 games, couldn't you? 29 games. 28 games, you got a booking in your 5th booking in 28th game, you could miss a league decider, relegation match.
Yeah, it's absolutely
nonsense. The thing is, we've had ever since I signed for the Dracs, we've had like an ongoing battle. We beat them. You can see there. We beat them in that cup final, and we beat them to the league that year.
Was that cup final at Taffs Well?
Pontyclean.
Which one was it that you won at Taffs Well?
Porthcawl. Okay. So we beat them a couple of years later.
Right. Okay.
We won that one against Porthcawl. But we were going up with Unashia.
Yeah.
So when I signed back after Alec Gray's funeral, Unashia were walking the league and the Dracs finished second. Then we went up and I think we finished second or third. They finished second or third. And it was always like us and them.
Yeah.
And so it was always like a battle. Every time I go up there, they hate me. They do hate me. But I suppose it's all part of it, isn't it?
Where did you learn to side foot the ball like you do? Because you side foot the ball like I used to lace it.
I don't know, mate. Honestly, I don't know. I just always have. I don't know.
Because, like, penalty taking wise, that's an incredible skill to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've only seen it once before outside of like professional football, and that was Jordan Mortimer, Borbs, who played for us. He could side foot the ball from 30 yards, and it would be like anyone else's greatest ever strike.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just always been able to do it.
Just something you did as a kid?
Something I always did as a kid. I was always struck, as a youngster, I was always told, just go against the wall and just hit the ball side foot, both feet. Yeah. So like go right foot to your left foot, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always did that, and I'm pretty comfortable off my left foot as well.
Yeah.
So, but I never really noticed it. It was only, I think it was like Clayton Green and Gianluca used to mention it. Clayton definitely used to mention it all the time, saying like, you can't believe how hard I can hit the ball with my side foot.
Yeah.
But, and like, penalty record was, apart from Taffs Well, I had a decent penalty record.
Yeah.
In Fairwater, I think
Why do you think it wasn't as good as Taffs? Was it just being younger and inexperienced?
Yeah, so I scored 13 out of 13 for Fairwater. Then I went to Taffs. Then I missed 2 in the first 4 games.
Right.
And I say 2 in the first 4 games, I missed 2 in 5 minutes. I missed 1 in the last minute against Tom Pentra.
Right.
And then the following week we played Aberdeen and I missed 1 in the first minute.
Okay.
But then I didn't take penalties for a while then. Jamal Roberts took them for Taffs and he was...
Very good record.
Yeah.
And
then I came to the Dracs. I don't know, mate. Came to the Dracs, took penalties. I scored 50 out of 51 for the Dracs.
There's a lesson in there for young players today. My team lost on penalties on Saturday. Nowadays, it's not enough to score a pen. Nowadays, it's got to look good.
Oh, mate,
the keeper's got to be sat down and he's sent the wrong way, or chipped up the middle, or there's got to be some sort of fucking Irish jig on the way to the ball, or whatever it is. Like, just run up and find a spot.
It wasn't even really much of a run. I just take 3 steps back.
That's it, yeah.
I tell you one thing, Barry Gunston always said to me as a youngster, you know the valve?
Yeah.
Always have the valve facing you.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's always stuck in my head.
Yeah. You know, with that ability to strike with power with a side foot like that, though, if you took too much of a run up, you might actually generate too much power on it.
Do you know what? I think, as a Taffs, I think that's why I don't think I was having any sort of run up. I think, but as I got older, or when it's senior, I'd make sure I'd only have 3 steps, so standing foot, and then 3 steps, so I know I'm stepping up to it, and I know the side of my foot, do you know what I mean? Like, my planting foot is,
Yeah. It's just,
the only one I missed
I've only ever seen
was against you. We played you in the cup at Lanrummy, and I've hit the outside of the post and it's gone wide against Galton.
Yeah, but it didn't matter, did it?
No,
beat us anyway.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you that. Is it a case that keepers have saved them, or is it the fact that you've probably tried to be too intricate within? Is it the post?
Do you remember that game we played you in the cup? You were at Lanrummy, we were at the Dracs. I think we beat you 2 or 3-0.
So you beat us 2-0, but...
Sean McCarthy scored a worldie, and he running up celebrating like a fucking
unbelievable
lunatic.
Goal, to be fair. And that was the only time we lost on that pitch that season.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Because you had a decent side.
Yeah, we only ever lost there twice.
We were, because Maxie was away. Maxie won there, he was away, but I think he'd gone back home or something. And we were expecting, it was like a proper banana skin. Because I think you might have been 2 leagues below us, but you were flying.
Below, but yeah, we were top of the league. Flying. And
Dom was playing. Is that that kid you mentioned? He was he was a handful in money.
When he fucked his knee up, it was like, when he was fit, you knew you were going to win.
Yeah.
Because he was just an absolute monster.
He's not a kid who was at St Athan years ago, is he?
Yeah, last time as well.
So when I was at Fairwater, we played St Athan, and he was a fucking handful then.
Well, we came across him at Langina, and then he played for Betis. I remember turning up at Betis one day, right, with, might have been Lamwern, and he's playing centre half, and I just remember thinking, oh, thank you. Whoever's decided that, thank you.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He was brilliant, mate, for St Athan. I remember we played at Fairwater, and he gave Darren Bennett. And
well, when he signed for us, he was mates with Chrissy Davis, and he said, "Oh, see if the manager wants you to blah, blah, blah." And Chrissy rang me. I still remember the phone call now, and I've gone, "You mean Jordan Mortimer?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, He said, "Oh, you know, he can play up front or at the back." I said, "Chrissy, you tell him he's playing up front."
Yeah.
He didn't realise
he can have a number 9 shirt. He can have his own car parking space.
He can have his own changing room if he wants.
What a fucking player.
So that would have been the year. That would have been our year, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
It was a funny one though, because like you beat us well that day, right? But I was glad to be out of the cup, but I couldn't rest players in the game because we'd been going so well, and because it was a Cardiff team, I couldn't go like, "Oh, look, lads, we're going to give some run-outs today," because they were like, "No, we want to test ourselves." But when we came out of the game, out of the cup, no injuries, no suspensions, I was like,
relief.
I'll take that, because we were taking the other cup seriously.
Yeah.
This one,
The intermediate one.
We were taking that one very seriously that year. You can't go for it all, can you? Do you know what I mean? Fixture pile up and stuff. But we were well beaten that day, and I think what that did for the boys in the team as well is it showed that we might have Galton and Dom Dwyer and Borbs and people like that, but there's levels to this game.
Play for you then as well?
Fellows with us, there's levels to this game, and we were well beaten that day. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of showed everyone like, don't get carried away. We're not that good. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite helpful for us.
It is just like you say that. Sometimes if you're a team who are dominating your league, it's not nice. It's never nice to lose, but like you said, it's sometimes a bit of a blessing, keep you down on your perch. Like,
100%, mate. But it definitely did that for us, and I think after that game, then I think we went on and won like 7 in a row or something, because it was just like, ooh, right, let's start doing things properly again. So
we won that cup that year we didn't concede a goal, I don't think.
Doesn't surprise me though. We
had a decent
side.
Again,
but a strong team as well as a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did have a decent side there.
So how long was the Dracs once you'd returned?
So I signed. When I left Taffs the first time, I signed for 6 months. Yeah. But this was when the leagues were. Remember when the leagues, the Alliance and the Senior were merging? Yeah. So the Dracs were in deep shit. We were bottom of the league. Yeah. We had to finish in the top half, effectively, to guarantee yourself staying in the Alliance, whatever it was. Yeah. And I can remember, I signed just before Christmas. First game was Kenvigil away, and they were bottom. We were second bottom. And I played in set midfield. And we were fucking awful, like real bad. Played the following week against Canton Libs, that's when the Libs were on the rise, so they were smashing everyone. Yeah. And we lost down there 2-1. I think they scored late. And I turned round to the manager and I just said, "Look," I said, I can't play midfield. I said, just put me up front. I said, "Put me up front, get the ball to me as quick as you can." I said, "It's pointless being in midfield because we don't play. We don't play. I'm too far away. I'm too far away from the opposition's goal." I said, "Just put me up front."
How did you find that mentally? And there's a reason I asked that.
Mate.
We had Dom Dwyer come and play at Llanrumney in very similar circumstances.
Yeah.
Before we were actually in charge, Ben Stitford was in charge, but we got him to come and play.
Llanrumney were going out, they were going to Parks.
We were going to Parks.
That's where the Dracs were going. That's where the Dracs were heading, mate. I thought we were fucked.
Do you know what? It came that close to cooking Dom Dwyer's brain, I think, because the players he was playing with, they weren't only not what he was used to playing with, they were players that, like, sometimes in certain games where we had like players missing, they were players that couldn't trap the ball.
No, mate. And I found it hard, mate.
His brain was cooking out there.
I found it hard. It was like, I left Taffs quite sudden. So it was like literally, I signed for the Dracs like an hour after leaving training for Taffs. Yeah. So I didn't even probably just knee-jerk reaction. And if I'd have probably thought about it, I could have probably gone somewhere else. Yeah. But yeah, that day, driving home from Kenvigil, I was thinking to myself, what the fuck have I done?
Yeah. It's mad what you said with the Llanrumney one, because when we did actually stay up, I remember looking at that photo in the dressing room and thinking, fucking hell, there's a bunch of great boys, but you look at it and just think...
Yeah. Well, I just said to the manager, I think the manager was Steve Dunstable at the time, him and Darren Nippers was helping him out, and I just said to him, I was playing golf with Darren Nippers a few times, and I just said, look, I'm not telling you how to do it, but I said, I need to be further up the pitch, basically. And then I went up top. We played the next 4 games. I think I scored about fucking 11 goals. I scored 11 goals, and we'd won 5-0, 3-0. And then we were on a little bit of a run then.
Yeah, you got momentum, man. Yeah.
And then I got injured. We played Bargoed away, and they were top of the league, I think.
Okay.
And it's weird, mate. I kind of half bent down to like chest the ball, and something just went in my back, and they had to carry me off the pitch. I couldn't walk. Someone had to drive my van home. I just couldn't walk. And we talked about Stevie Ames before, wasn't we? And he was like, he'd get me the following week. He'd just get me in. He'd just do something to my back with this fucking heat rub or whatever it was. And then I was okay to play. And we stayed up. We played Cardiff Hibs away, and we beat them 2-1 over in Ely on a Saturday afternoon in April, something like that. And we stayed up.